So I decided to invest some of my hard-earned pennies into buying myself a tripod, which at any moment a big gust of wind could come and knock it over, and it could be a very expensive tripod and break my phone. But let's talk about getting in our own way, which can happen so easily. Now, observations, and I think every single person is guilty sometimes of getting the old green eyes of envy. It's a dangerous world to step in when you get them green eyes of envy, but really it's touching on your own insecurities, because you see someone doing that thing what you think you could do and you could do better, but you're not willing to put the shoes on and make it happen, walk the first footstep to make it happen. And I've observed men especially, which is very interesting. Oh, the tripod's getting a bit wobbly as the gust of wind starts to gust, and probably gonna knock it over. But I've seen them. They go onto Reddit and they talk shit to people. Or they go onto Instagram and they go on somebody's post, and because they are anonymous, because people don't know who they really are, they talk shit. And I think the term we use is the keyboard warrior. Keyboard warrior is not stepping into one's masculine whatsoever. It's, I don't even know what category to put it in, but it's pathetic. That's all we can say, is it is pathetic. But it means that you are very deeply in your wounded child. And as men, we can get stuck into our wounded child. It happens to us, you know. It's hard. It's hard to be a man in today's society. It's also hard to be a woman in today's society. It's probably hard to be a rabbit in today's society. Rabbits, the poor little critters, either they have the abundance of the fields to run around in, or someone buys one, puts it in a cage, and the poor little fucker doesn't even get to touch grass. You know, it can happen. So if this is you, reanalyze what you're trying to do and what is it. Because when we are insecure, we don't want it to admit it. We make up all the excuses we can. I'm not insecure. I just think, well, that person is doing wrong and I could probably do it better. Then do it better. Prove to the world who you really are. But it doesn't happen like that. You know, if someone is doing something in your field and suddenly they are improving and going a long way, don't get jealous of that person. Try to figure out what it is they are doing to further themselves. And also, everybody's path is going to look different from the person standing next to them. My path is going to be very different to your path, and vice versa. It's not that one path is the right way and one is the wrong way. They're just paths, you know. They all have cracks in the path somewhere, different places. You may get knocked off your path a little bit, but you get back on. But don't try to diminish other people's journeys because it makes you feel insecure about the lack of work you're putting in yourself. You know, and that is the biggest danger, and it's the biggest dream killer. Because if we spend so much time stewing, you know, we're sitting there and being like, this person or this person, this is not allowing us to have any growth as a person, you know? Get your ass, put it where it needs to be put, stick to your own integrities. Somebody is doing something and they seem to be progressing, but they're not sticking to your own ethics, morals, and integrity. That's okay, as long as you stick to your own ethics, rules, integrity. You know, it may take a lot longer, but if you are doing it true to yourself, everything will fall into place when it needs to. So allow this whole idea of green eyes of envy, you know, use it as a mirror to be like, oh, you know what? This makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable. Instead of sitting in the uncomfortableness, you know, and allowing it to like do its thing, we grab and we want to type, you know, and be an arsehole. And that's not the way how things work, you know. So in life, stick to our integrity, observe, analyze, and don't shit on people, you know. Now and again, a little bit of advice, but most advice is unsolicited anyway. So if nobody asks you for your advice or your 2 cents on the situation, there's no reason to give it. Like, for an example, in the gym today, well, sometimes in the gym I do like to help people, but it isn't always received where it needs to be received. So someone was doing something in the gym and I was like, there's trainers around, it's not my job, it's not my responsibility to jump into that person's space and tell them what they're doing is wrong. And yes, they asked, you know. And that's one thing, good intentions can path the way to hell. And we'd like to think to ourselves, my intentions are pure, but are they coming from your own ego or not from your own ego? So don't be so quick to be envious of somebody else, because again, you don't know what they've done, what their journey is, what their story is, and their motives to doing the things what they do. You know, it's just, we are different and we are unique. So next time you feel the need for your thumbs to twiddle and for you to type some nonsense on somebody's post, you know, try to think a little bit. Is this really just you showing you're insecure and your wounded child? Maybe it's not. Maybe you are right. Maybe you have the power to say the thing which is going to change the world. Or maybe we're insecure and we're just stuck in the wounded child. We're only human. What can we do? None of us are perfect. We're all here to learn from each other. No one has this enlightenment where everyone seems to have this illusion towards. Just be you, be open to learn, understand that everybody is a teacher and we're all students, and that's it. We can always learn from each other.